So for this video today, I want to talk to you about hexes and curses, and these which are the shadow workings of what we would call manifested malice. Throughout history and across cultures, hexes and curses have been seen as potent forms of spiritual assault, intentional acts meant to invoke misfortune, pain, or destruction upon others. Often cloaked in secrecy and superstition, the mechanics of these dark workings reveal a reality more intricate and disturbing. The curses are often born not of structured magical discipline, but of volatile human emotions: jealousy, contempt, rage, vengeance. This video is going to delve deep into the dark underbelly of magical warfare and how hexes and curses are formed, why they're done, who performs them, and the psychology and spiritual mechanics behind their casting. It also explores how villainous collectives, coven-like assemblages of those unified by their hatred for others, pool their focused malevolence to bring ruin to those they despise. And many times they do it in a very unrelenting way. Let's talk about the nature of hexes and curses. Hexes and curses are spiritual weapons. They are rituals, invocations, or even mere intentions charged with negative energy. They're designed to interfere with the target's free will, their prosperity, their health, or their happiness. You're trying to stop someone. You're trying to bring a death, whether to their finances, to their health, to their story. It's an act sometimes of ritual sorcery, but sometimes spiritual tools, puppets, pins, bones, elements from nature used to channel focus. A curse can be broader because of a spoken condemnation, a long-term energetic poison, or a generational blight seeded into a family line. Both hexes and curses violate a natural spiritual law. They impose one person's will on another's life path with very malicious intent. And why would they do this? Well, they do this because there may be a superiority inferiority complex that's going on. The curses are born not from study, but from raw combustion of emotion. Remember, some people may feel like they are in competition with you. For me in life, I've never thought of myself as being better than other people. I'm just a fellow traveler on this path that we call life. Therefore, jealousy for me is not really a thing because everyone has their own path. Everyone can achieve greatness. I don't believe in a zero-sum game, but there are others who do. They believe that to elevate themselves, they must sabotage others. And so it's in this moment of uncontrollable rage and contempt that ordinary people speak a curse into existence because they're so determined to beat the other person, to destroy the other person. Their venom becomes energetic attacks, powered by the strength of uncontrolled emotion. Their contempt, when sustained, breeds long-term cursing, the desire not to only wound, but to permanently degrade and damage. You want to bring an end to someone's rise. You don't want to see them thrive. And so these curses are born of a deep fury and a petty malice. It's ill will and bad intent. Some curses are made in passing, but they leave energetic fingerprints on the soul of the target, even if repeated or echoed by others. It is intent without principle. Some hexers are very untrained. Unlike the disciplined mage or shaman, many who curse others are not always trained. They may not even know the laws of spiritual causality. They don't even seek balance or awareness of karmic consequence because for everything that is done, there must be balance that comes into play. So this is not principled magic, but emotional projection weaponized through focus and tension. And even though they may be warned by others, they choose to ignore the warnings. Their intent is powerful, they're focused. Their thought is amplified by obsession and repeated visualization, and that's when it becomes manifestation. This is the metaphysical principle by which curses work. Because that hatred is so strong and it will not let it go, that's how it continues to thrive and become something of its own. They're trying to suffer poverty and fear upon others. And this is a very focused intent. This is like they wake up every day wishing this ill will on certain targets. The vibrational alignment is one of fear, of decay, of chaos. This process of energetic manifestation involves strong desire or emotion. In the case of curses, this is often hatred or vengeance. Maybe it even once upon a time was love, but love that's gone sour. You have visualization where they can see the misfortune they wish for the target in the mind's eye. There's belief that they have the right or power to do this no matter who tells them not to. There's the reinforcement. They repeat the intention over time, invoking the help of others, or symbolic acts like burying objects, invoking deities, lighting candles, stabbing voodoo dolls. The universe itself does not judge intent, it responds to frequency, and when the frequency is one of hatred and sustained for a long period of time, it attracts the dark entities. It attracts the dark spirits and it forces the willing to carry that energy force into effect. And so this is cursing by proxy. And many times these energetic mobs become a coven because their curse is the work of many. In these cases, coven-like groups emerge not necessarily bound by spiritual ritual, but by shared resentment, ideology, jealousy. They just love to hate and they want to destroy. They form a collective egregore, an entity that is fed by the unified hate and contempt of the group. This group may engage in endless gossip, building energetic momentum. They may even perform some rituals together to curse their enemy in a very formal way. They may secretly wish and pray for someone's downfall and destruction because they want to see this person fall. They cannot see them win. Their subtle intentions, their moon ceremonies, their group chats, under the guise of justice, because it's justice for them, even though it may be total evil in the eyes of a reasonable observer. They claim the target is toxic. They claim the target deserves this. And so this is not a virtue. This is just pure contempt, unbridled. And it's pulled and aimed at a singular poor soul, and it can become a devastating spiritual onslaught. Why? Because they need to make them the bad guy. That is the bad guy. And they will continue to view them as the bad guy no matter how good they might act. They find in the target something threatening. Maybe brilliance, maybe beauty, maybe charisma, maybe abundance, maybe divine favor, maybe luck. Those chosen by God, those marked with spiritual light, draw the attention not of just angels, but of demons, of enemies. Those who curse those that they cannot control, they want to dim their light. They want to put that light out. They want to extinguish the flame. Their curse becomes a unifying cause. It's a rallying point for collective action. It's a shared mission to bring down one who walks with divine favor and divine energy. And this may take the form of slandering their name socially, mocking or undermining their spiritual gifts, secretly envying and plotting against their abundance. Because you see, in their minds, whatever is good fortune is just dumb luck in their minds. And whatever comes to them is just things that they don't deserve and they must take them away from them. This individual that's become cursed may experience depression, confusion, financial loss, health issues, estrangement from others, all symptoms of spiritual sabotage. You may have felt it. I felt it in the past when I've been targeted. It's almost like your brain has like a certain fog to it that you can't keep your thoughts consistent because you're under a barrage of psychic attacks. And so you may feel sudden and inexplicable misfortune. You may experience persistent nightmares or sleep paralysis. You may have energetic heaviness or cloudiness. You may have animals reacting fearfully or strangely. You might even be attacked by a bird. You might have physical ailments that seem to just don't have an origin. You may have repeating patterns of failure or betrayal that you can't understand no matter how hard you work at things. You may feel like somebody's always watching you. And this inner knowing can detect it even before the physical symptoms arise. You might even feel like, for some reason, cars are coming towards you as if they want to crash into your car, like you're about to have a bad accident. And so the laws of energy do not punish. The law of return ensures that what is sent out energetically, like a boomerang, will eventually come back, especially when it's done with malicious intent. And so cursors who operate from whim, rage, or jealousy may not anticipate the spiritual debt they incur. That debt can manifest as emotional instability, hauntings, spiritual attachments, physical deterioration, financial collapse, generational curses on their own families, a deepening of the spiritual void within themselves. Now, some people try to anticipate this and use other targets. Maybe they might have an animal, a cat, a bird, and somehow they redirect the boomerang of this energy onto that animal because they're trying to keep it away from themselves. There are people out there who think about this on a deep level and try to figure out how to avoid getting the backlash because they know the backlash exists and they know it's coming, but they don't want it to come to them. What are other steps that need to be taken here? Well, if you're the target of a spiritual attack, you want to use frankincense, you want to use Palo Santo, you want to use salt. You want to clear negative energy. You want to ring the bells. You want to maybe do the mirror magic where you do return to sender spells. But again, be careful with that because some people know how to handle that as well. There's ancestral shielding. You need to call on your ancestors or your guardian experiences, your, uh, your guardian spirits to kind of reinforce you and give you protection. You want to call upon God or the divine or whoever it is in your life that you call to for that divine favor and protection to keep yourself shielded. You want to put up strong boundaries. You want to remove access from people who act as energetic conduits or gossipers for hexers. People may try to bind themselves to you for them to have a channel that they and their friends can use to attack you with, and you want to stop that. You want to stop from being disempowered. You want to reclaim your power. You want to stand firm in your spiritual authority, and you want to choke out what these curses thrive on. You don't want them to have fuel. You don't want to have oxygen. You want to stop it at the source, and you want to break it down to its very last compound. You know that there are spiritual, psychological, and emotional attacks coming. You must reclaim that lost power. You must rebuild your identity and your confidence, which becomes eroded by the curse. You must reaffirm your faith. You must connect with the divine, and you must continue to seek divine protection. You must purge toxicity, cut ties with all allies of the hexers, even if they appear neutral, because you don't want any type of connections between you and this vile group. You want to reinforce those boundaries. You want to strengthen your inner gates so that no future harm can penetrate you in any way. You want to heal. You want to take that which is once cursed and take that powerful, spirit warrior within you and use it to fight back. Use your discernment. Keep away all of these energies because this is adversity that comes for you and you need to fight back. Not in a cruel way, not in a vicious way, but in a way that is principled, that is keeping you safe. You have to recognize that whoever these people are, they may be lost for whatever reason. Maybe they are determined to carry out something no matter the cost, but you have to pray for them. And I'm not saying wish them well in such a way as to keep inviting them into your heart, but what I am saying is forgive, don't forget, but you want to forgive. You want to pray that they become better. And if they end up being destroyed in the process, that's not on you. You did the best you could. You didn't want to hate. You didn't want that toxicity in your life. But for whatever reason, your enemies may not feel the same way. They're like clouds. They want to gather above you and they want to rain on your parade. Don't let them. Let their plots become the soil for your rising. You alchemize. You were never meant to fail. You were never meant to fall. You were always meant to rise again and again and again because your soul is the thing they cannot hex. And so whatever they throw at you, you turn it into your power. You turn it into something good and you use it to rise and show your enemies through your success that you cannot be beaten. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.